Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and we're on Old Faithful PTCGO today looking at the new Brilliant Stars cards, and Arceus V-Star is definitely one of the most exciting cards from the latest set, and there's lots of different ways you can play Arceus. A couple of weeks ago I've already done a video having a look at some sort of speculative lists for all sorts of ways to play Arceus. Today we're going to be looking at a mostly dark-focused Arceus build, simply because we think that gives us the best chance into the Mew matchup, because it's obviously going to be hitting that guy for weakness. So let's go over the cards, starting with Arceus V-Star, which is a big part of the deck. We're playing a 4-3 line here. 280 hit points is a really good number for a 2-prize Pokemon, pretty chunky. It is going to force a lot of decks to do a lot of work to take those KOs, be it finding lots of like tablets and choice belts, or hitting you for weakness in certain instances. So it can be achieved by a number of decks, especially in this format where there will be a number of fighting decks around, from the likes of Single Strike, Rapid Strike, potentially lots of other people playing Zapdos as well, the V. So be aware of that, but it is in general a chunky 2-prize Pokemon. It has the Trinity Nova attack for 3 colorless. You do 200 damage, and you can search your deck for up to 3 basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon in V in any way that you like, then shuffle your deck. This is the crux of the deck, ultimately, where we're trying to get multiple attackers powered up, so even if things are getting like boss KO'd, for example, we still have at least one Pokemon present on the board to try and come back in and respond. 200 is a pretty good baseline number. We have Choice Belt now to improve that. We are playing Zigzagoon as well, but most of the time you will be using double Turbo Energy, which does have a -20, so do bear that in mind. 180 still a decent number for dealing with Mew, of course, but a Zigzagoon or a Choice Belt then pushes you into like knocking out Genesect, which is nice, and Choice Belt covers like a whole array of V Pokemon, and if you get the combo of the two of them, you can also hit 220, which is not only knocking out Arceus, but also like a ton of other like Urshifu and other Pokemon like that. So very, very nice attack here, and of course the V-Star power is huge. This is a once per game effect, a new mechanic from V-Stars from this set, and we're allowed to search our deck for any 2 cards once per game and put them directly into our hand. This is a really big deal for helping us get into Trinity Nova in the first place, because it's unreliable to rely on these 4 special energies otherwise. So this really helps piece together the Trinity Nova combo. But it also can help us get the right target to attach to, potentially. It can help us get boss's orders early on. It can help us play some really interesting one-offs, which gets us out of sticky situations as well, which I'll talk about later on. So yeah, very nice card overall. Quick mention of the V. Trinity Charge is a very, very solid attack. You can search your deck for 3 basic energy and attach them to your V in any way that you like. So as a going second play, this isn't the worst thing possible, especially if you can be powering up something that can like respond to the opponent for weakness potentially, or even just set up double Arceus V. You can really get a lot of value from that Trinity Charge. There'll be a number of matchups where you do have the license to make this play, but in other times it may be just better to just leave a 1-prize it in the active position, so do bear that in mind. And Power Edge is 130. It can knock out some single prize Pokemon. You can super duper high roll and get the the Double Turbo plus Dire Flame Wings plus Energy Switch play to do an early Power Edge, but it's low odds, especially with the 1 count of the item here. So yeah, the Arceus putting in a big shift. It's a big part of the deck. You'll try and set it up every game, not least for Starbirth, but also because Trinity Nova sets up multiple attackers for us throughout the game, so it's usually your go-to starting point. Then we have like the Dark package, and Galarian Moltres V, as we've already known in this format, has done pretty well, but coming into Brilliant Stars, it seems like a far stronger card, simply because we have Ultra Ball now. So we have 8 Ball Search outs, as well as the 4 Researchers, which can help us discard Dark Energy early on in the game, which is great news for Dire Flame Wings. It's going to get a lot more value just naturally throughout games, and will be live far more often, just naturally attaching to itself. It's a Dark type, so the 190 is doubling easily and knocking out Mew, and 190 is a much better number when we now have Choice Belt pushing it up to 220, so you're not only preying on Crobats and Lumineons now, you're also able to just Aura Burn through regular 2-prize Pokemon, so you just become a generically good threat in the game, but even better into the Mew matchup, especially because we are playing Raihan in the list. You can make plays where you don't have a Moltres at all, and on that turn you Dire Flame Wings, turn attach, Raihan, respond KO on a Mew for a nice 2-for-3 up trade there, which is very nice. The other Dark type Pokemon we're playing is Hoopa. It's nice because it's not only a Dark type, its 2-faced ability also gives us Psychic type coverage, which is a big deal for covering Arceus, which is weak to fighting. Especially the Urshifus are a big sort of worry here. Rapid Strike can be targeting multiple 2-prize Pokemon and is quite scary for you. So having a Shadow Impact option that can one-shot those Rapid Strike Urshifus, very, very scary for them. So that's very nice, and also it denies a single strike player from going into their Urshifu VMAX a lot of the time, unless they're going to be gusting and KOing this Hoopa itself, which requires like a lot of combo pieces to happen, multiple stage 1s to come into play, etc. This is going to be a really nice deterrent from them going for like beatdown plays potentially on their Urshifu VMAX. This really punishes that quite quickly. And it's only 170, we're mostly using it here to double up into these dual type coverages. And of course against Mew, it's some extra redundancy. It's never a bad thing to get the Hoopa down, to start attacking with, knowing that Galarian Moltres is self-accelerating as well, so you can have multiple threats developed. So even though we know Mew is very capable of bossing every turn, you will have multiple dark things with dark energies floating around your board, so they're never really going to be safe. And I like having this critical mass of 4. It feels like a pretty good number to me. Gives you some redundancy in prizing, and it just gives you access to them early for targets for Trinity Nova in general matchups, which is cool. Then we're playing double Zapdos. That Fighting Instinct helping us reduce the cost of the Zapdos V is always welcome. So, you know, we know that there is going to be Ultra Ball, Quick Ball engines out there now where there's going to be more reliance on Crobat, more reliance on Lumineon, etc. More Arceus being thrown into decks because the V-Star power is so strong. Fighting Instinct should be getting a good amount of value in this format. Also, the 170 is a breakpoint that gets far improved by the Choice Belt here. It now means that Zapdos can simply like dust KO Genesects, for example, and maintain a prize race quite easily against them. So you don't have to be pure dark the entire time. You can have them waiting in the back while Zapdos is still accelerating a prize race for you, which is really cool. And of course, you're hitting other Arceus players for weakness, which is one of the big reasons why we're playing Zapdos now. But it also helps out against Gengar, which can sometimes be an awkward like prize race. You can get a big uptrade there if ever they're going into the VMAX, which is nice. Yeah, it just seems like a solid card. If Jolteon is still around, you can obviously punish them as well. And let's not forget that we are playing Raihan E-Switch, and we can Trinity Nova to the Zapdos, so even if your opponent is playing around how many Vs they have on the field, you can still Thunderous Kick through them with some of these combo plays, which is very nice. So that's really the sort of attacking suite of Pokemon. Then we have like the consistency stuff. Lumineon V, great new addition from the set, allowing you to search for a supporter, obviously very nice when you put it into play. We have Crobat helping us draw some extra cards, very important on those opening turns so that we can establish potentially multiple Arceus if we're up against aggressive decks that can turn to boss KO, like Mew. So yeah, the Crobat definitely is helpful there for digging into the deck. Zigzagoon is actually a recent include that I do think is pretty nice, because that 220 breakpoint is something that you really want to hit in the mirror match into single strike and rapid strike. So having Zig Choice Belt combo cancels out the -20 that you get from double turbo energy, allowing you to still hit 220, which is that really big breakpoint, which I think is actually important. And it also improves Zapdos' potential into hitting Mew. You can actually Choice Belt Zigzagoon ping and still knock out a Mew V, even though they have resistance. So a couple big breakpoints here, and I also simply like this over a third copy of Choice Belt, because it acts as 4 copies of single prize Pokemon, and I think this is going to be a really big deal going into the new format. I'm very concerned about Mew in general. I think it's at a ridiculous power level. So it's going to be important when you go first against Mew. When you go first against Mew, they're likely going to Sparkle attack you. And that means if you get 2 single prize Pokemon down, you force them to be a list that plays Pokemon Catcher and flip heads to be able to take a 2 prize KO. Otherwise, they're going to be playing Rope more than likely. So getting 2 single prize Pokemon established is going to be really huge for you. So Zigzagoon really helps keep us having the 4 count total. But Mew is probably the best 1 prize Pokemon you can just shove into the active position. Mysterious Tail has never really been a highlight sort of card. I do think it gets better here though, because now we have 8 Ball Search outs to get our opening basics. And, you know, get us Crobat digging and all that good stuff. I think it gets a slight bit improved by this set. So having that 6-card dig to find item cards, never a bad thing. It can help you just as a pivot throughout the game. And, you know, we love seeing Ball Search throughout, not just because of Starbirth, not just because we want opening turn sort of Pokemon, but also the likes of Crobat and Lumineon are great late game outs to close games as well. So yeah, that's really the creativity. It's all in the Pokemon because we're a toolbox. The trainers really are simple. We're playing 4 of the Ball Search cards, Ultra Ball, obviously a great card coming back into the game. We have Training Court as a counter stadium to Path, because we are pretty reliant on our abilities, but also means that we can get away with kind of cheeky counts of like Fighting Energy in particular, and we can still make Zapdos pretty reliable. And then we have some one-off cards here. So we're playing one Switch, one Rope. Rope is a really nice card that just has the option to Starbirth out here and there when it's useful. Energy Switch, a great combination, so you have a bit of redundancy if, for example, Raihan is prized, or you miss turn 1 attachment on Arceus. You could still go for like E-Switch Turbo plays the following turn from like a Moltres into an Arceus, so that can make a lot of sense here. These are really solid plays, and like I said, both Raihan and E-Switch enable like that Zapdos that little bit better, enables Moltres being burst out of nowhere that little bit better. Both very nice cards here overall. And then supporters are pretty straightforward. Boss for Gusting, you know, all this good stuff, the research, the Marnies. Choice Belt, big damage mod. We're playing a high Air Balloon count, not only because it's great on Mew, obviously, but because, like I said, if you're going first against a Mew Fusion Strike deck, you certainly want to move a 2-prizer out of the way. Get them out of there. Get a single prizer shoved in the active to be that punching bag. That is pretty much the list. I've played a good amount of this already on streams and stuff, and I do think it's a solid deck. Some other things that I'm considering. I'm definitely considering Hoopa as a single prize attacking option. I've typed it in wrong. Simply because 1 for 90 can be good, especially into like aggressive like 1-prize matchups, so you can really disrupt them, or it can be helpful into certain VMAXs that we don't hit for weakness, like Ice Rider, for example. Getting that early 90 damage on can help set up your other Pokemon later on down the line. So I do think that is a reasonable card, especially because we are playing 5 switch outs. It's not unreliable potentially to get that rolling. I would definitely consider a second Crobat in here, and potentially even Eldegoss as well, because there are matchups where like Marnie is a super strong card, where the boss is just an integral out, and giving yourself like Mew searches with any ball search card to give you Eldegoss for game immediately is always a good feeling as well. So those are some things that I'm sort of rattling around with, but I'm still pretty happy with the list, and this isn't too far different from the list that we showcased a little while back. So as we get into the ladder, don't forget that you can go ahead and check out the Potown store for some Brilliant Stars codes and other codes as well. If you're looking towards getting towards PTCG Live, codes are still super helpful for getting us towards what we want in our collection. So, you thought I forgot, didn't you? But yeah, we've got to get our plugs in there. We're jumping into our first game, and we'll have a couple today. I did ramble quite a bit about the list. Hopefully that was good and in-depth, but it's a new card. I wanted to show it off in the best case possible. We are going second here, which is pretty decent, and our hand is okay. We have a lot of basics, and we're looking for Crobat to help us out. Ultimately, I think like a Ball Search card would probably be the best draw possible, so I can get Dire Flame Wing value. And looks like we're up against a Mad Party deck. Mad Party, not like the most difficult matchup necessarily, because we just have such a chunky 2-prize Pokemon. We're going to try and make them go through as many V-Stars as possible. Like, ideally, we don't put many of these Vs into play for them, and we make them go through double V-Star and probably this Crobat that we're going to need. So we'll see what they get up to. They are often reliant on their own 2-prizers, like Crobat in the early game. Yes, they can play things like Collapse Stadium, but that's something that they get sort of later on in the game. And already they are putting 2 prizes down for us, which is nice. And they are starting to develop some Sinistes and whatnot. And they're just going to pass. Okay. Air Balloon, not a terrible draw for us. We really don't need the damage in this matchup too much. The stadium they'll play is probably collapsed, if nothing else, so we can go ahead and throw this down. I'm pretty happy ballooning active just in case anything happens. This would certainly be a matchup where like getting that Hoopa pressure would be something that is kind of nice. Like I said, I want to make the prizes as awkward for him as possible, and I don't really need to Trinity Charge this turn because I'm not in like huge danger if I just attach to the bench. So I think I'll just do this and bat for 4. And I want to try and, again, not really put down too many Pokemon this game. The research is going to be very helpful here. We can Quick Ball now. It means I can put a Mew active to be a 1-prize punch bag. It is usually the role of Mew in this deck to be a 1-prize punch bag. And we can just yeet the hand here pretty comfortably. So we have V-Star for next turn. I have Rope as well, which is no bad thing for the following turn. Certainly can just go ahead and get the free value here. I can go ahead and use the Mysterious Tail as well. great news about Mad Party is they very rarely play much hand disruption, so we're very well set for next turn. And yeah, we can just hold it all and pass it over. It would be an incredible hand for them to be able to Gust KO an Arceus V. Even if that were the case, we can do some shenanigans to burst a Arceus out of nowhere. They are just going to spend their research. They have developed double Polty, which is nice for them, though. They have Twin Energy. Also need to keep an eye on their Turbo versus Twin counts, because sometimes that will be relevant for how many marchers they need in the discard pile. Mad Parties, I should say, not marchers. I've been playing this game for too long. They're going well, though. They've got a good few in there already. 7 in there, that's 140. They have some tea breaks on top. They truly are spilling the tea right now. We're all the way up to 180. So they are playing Bibarel as their sort of backup. So I think it's pretty clear that we're going to be gusting Crobat this turn. I naturally don't want to give him a free Mad Partier in the discard pile, obviously. So it just makes a lot of sense. I don't need Belt, I don't need Mew. These are not cards that are required. Let's get rid of those. We have 2 V-Stars, happy days. We have lots of energy, they'll both be powered up by the end of this turn. And ultimately, we don't need to do like much else. And quite happily get rid of this and the basic energy. Knowing that I can get it back for free. I basically just don't want to put anything else into play, honestly. I think this is going to be what we're rocking with. Let's retreat and do our Starbirth. Obviously, you want to boss the bat. I think I just hold double boss, honestly. It feels really bad to like not have any cards in hand. Maybe I just go boss Marnie to hold cards in hand. But what else do I need for the remainder of the game? I attack with one Arceus, then I use the other Arceus to power up Crobat, and like that's my board. So I think I just hold double boss, honestly. Playing one this turn. Trying to make it so he can't Crobat like again this game, basically, to push. And just say, yeah, I'm a big meaty two-prizer. Try and deal with me this turn. If not, I might run away with the game. The lads are all here. And honestly, I don't need like much else this game. It's really down to them and how much pressure they can churn out this turn. I'm at 180, I believe, right now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep. There is the big incisors. The industrious incisors. Look at him. Not a lot of people are excited about the barrel. So that's them up to 200. They can, of course, play Choice Belt, which is a big new addition from the set to help this deck's damage cap. They're Ultra Balling away Guru and Quick Ball. Interesting. Those seem like good cards to discard more things, but oh well. Do see the easy boss bat seems reasonable to me. Path to the Peak really doesn't matter at this point. So I really don't want to give him the free Mad Parter in the discard pile. Let's just deal with the barrel. Yeah, this seems like we've made our bed and now we have to lay in it, basically. Play around some random hammers and give ourselves better supporter draws off the top. These are the two biggest Pokemon we can present. He's at 4, 8, 11. 220 right now. We're pretty sad if he gets the KO this turn. There's not much else we can do in this matchup, honestly. But no, he can't. So that's really good news for us. Rope would prevent, or would make his draw potential a little bit worse. Let's think about the rope. I could retreat rope as well as an option. Do I want to retreat rope? I'll definitely rope. I can always play the balloon here. Because this stifles draw that little bit more, right? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, going to 12. He didn't break any mugs last turn. Hitting here basically seals my fate if he takes the KO, whereas like retreating back here gives him like the easy prize. I think I should just hit active. And we just got to ride the storm for one more turn, basically. Hope that you can't get those last couple in there. In the bin. Ultra Ball fails him. One break of the T. Yep. So he's at 260. I really need to KO this, right? And hope he doesn't get Marcher off prize, basically. Mad Parcher off prize. But we can't do anything. So we have just taken the L here. Nothing we can do. The prize takes him to the right number because this is a twin. So we're just dead. One of those things where they got a decent enough setup with only one Crobat required, which is, you know, good for them, right? And it's not exactly a matchup that I'm super afraid of becoming very meta, so we just take that on the chin, really. We could make that matchup better with Hoopa potentially being a one prize swing rather than us like passing with a Mew. We could have been one prize ahead. But yeah, all you can do is really present as much meat as possible in that instance. Yeah, I'd like to go first. Arceus certainly wants to go first into every matchup. It power spikes based on its V-Star power, so certainly would like to go first. Our turn 1 hand, I was about to say, looks very good unless we're against Mew, because we have no more basics. This deck plays a ton of basic Pokemon, being a toolbox and all. But I might just have to Trinity Charge. Oh, sorry, I might just have to attach Pass here, which is quite sad. We have so many outs to draw at least a basic here, but your checklist is typically get 2 single prizes down against Mew if you're the player going first, and get an attachment down. That is the hope. So there's a single prizer at least. Yep. Hey, there's our 2 single prizes. Would it be worth retreating a double turbo away just to get it to happen? I think it actually is worth retreating. Honestly. Because Mew's potential to KO you now is just way too high. I really would have loved to have got a Ball SSH there to have like a Moltres play potentially, like next turn. I already have the belt, so I might as well plonk it here, right? Not necessarily, because the reduction from the Oricorio. So that's at 210 already. Yeah, I'll put it here. Okay. So we're in a bit of a pickle. But we've at least done the checklist. They've attached a double turbo, so they're not attacking us this turn. Which is insanely good for us. Insanely good. I mean, I guess they could still sparkle and take the one prize. Okay, so that's fine. But it's way better that we're killing a Mew right next turn without having to boss. We haven't been able to deck search yet to see if our E-search is in deck. E-switch is in deck. So they'll probably just leap, right? No, he's spreading and not attacking this turn. That's so good. We get to double dip Mysterious Tail, and we get to take the first prize. Huge, actually. They're playing hammers. Hello. Okay. Ultra Ball is exactly what you want to draw here. That is a crazy good draw. Because now we're V-starring. So E-switch is here. Moltres is here. Looking pretty good. I think I should Mysterious Tail first, right? I could attach Marnie first, because I don't really need to boss. If I Mysterious Tail... No, it's too much combo. I should attach Marnie first. I don't need to boss here. The one prize is good enough. We actually draw E-switch and Quick Ball, which would be the things I'd V-star power for here, and the switch out. Absolutely insane. So we no longer need Choice Belt. As we grab this boy. We can Wings E-switch. We can take a peek under the hood. We can take this. Seems good. We can do this. We can get our free fighting energy back. We can Starbirth. I definitely want to get a Hoopa here. Because it's insane, right? Because I can attach all the energies to Hoopa and then I still have Molt in the back. I'm holding Boss. So I guess I'm taking Raihan as my only other card here. I could take an alternative line, which is just Lumineon, and it's more versatile. And I'm never getting Pathed because it's a Mew deck, right? Yeah, that seems good. Let's take these. So, we go up one. We rev up some attackers. Seems good to me. We go 2 to Hoopa, 1 to Molt. Actually, a small misstep there. I should have gone all Dark Energy, because I should have been splitting these energies the entire time. These should all be Dark Energies right now. Especially because I courted back this. It might force me to fish something else next turn. Small mistake there. I should. These should all be Dark Energies. I imagine Hoopa's getting knocked out this turn anyway, though. It's kind of weird if it doesn't get knocked out. So the Zigzagoon ping offsets the reduction of Oricorio here for the Hoopa, so it actually is a really big deal that we got that ping in turn 1. Very, very niche situation when that comes off, but it's worked in this spot. They look to be powering up some Genesects. Pretty spicy. It's already pretty spicy when there's hammers in the mix. But they're going to phone. Get a couple more cards. They're going to keep going. So you can copy Mellow this turn. Okay. So I can pay retreat with Arceus, get rid of the Dark Energy and the double turbo, and I can just KO with Hoopa. Oh, sorry, KO with Moltres. Seems like a good play. Or I could just do a boss, right? Boss just wins. It gives him the chance to like bounce the Mew back into the deck, but I'm still pretty sure I'm just like in a commanding spot here. I guess I'm playing around Hammer. Kind of everything plays around Hammer because there's a court in play right now. So this does give him the chance to put another Mew down and leap back into the deck. But I'm really not scared of a Psychic Leap, right? His energy state is just horrific. Oh, he's just resigned himself to defeat, I guess. That big brain Zigzagoon at the start. Love to see it. Oh, it's actually after applying weakness anyway. Okay, so Hammer here needs to bounce his own stadium for it to be a problem for us. All the coin flips in this list. Okay, we can just get back the energy and smack him. So nice. We did the thing, right? We got 2 single prize Pokemon into play. Turn 1. And we shoved one into the active position. We even paid retreat to do it. And that's the checklist you need against Mew, folks. That's the checklist you need. So that's a nice win. Let's get one more game in. So far, a sad loss to Mad Party. Well, we can't really do much. Like, we don't have any techs for Mad Party, to be honest. I think this build is quite bad into single prizes anyway. Like, you're quite bad into Rapid Strike Malamar as well. And any other single prizes that pop up, you'll probably be in a bad spot, outside of just the fact that Arceus is big. Maybe if we played like Sharon's Care or something, you'd have a slightly better time of like undoing some damage early on. But outside of that, I think it's just rough. Let's see, now we're up against a Shadow Rider Calyrex. And we'll see if they're playing Arceus as a chap, or if they're playing Whimsicott potentially as a new chap possible from the latest set. So far, just sticking true to getting the Callies down. Gotta respect it. Okay. So Hoopa's a pretty good draw. We'll try and get Trinity charging. I'm pretty sure you instantly win the game if you Trinity charge against a Shadow Rider. Because they just don't have the tempo to beat you, right? I'm just going to put the birds down. I'll just say, here they are, deal with these. And I think it's a pass. It's like an objectively bad turn, but the matchup's so strong I don't feel bad here. Crushing Hammer a little scarier. So it probably is Whimsicott, right, if they're playing Crushing. Whimsicott combos with Crushing Hammer, right, because what you try and do is you disrupt their attachments and then deny the attachment of special energies. That's kind of the deal with Whims. Yeah, it is going to be Fluff Gets in the Way. You'll love to see it. Then I'm going to start doing the door. Some whiffs on the hammers. They're choosing not to Cotton Guard. That's fine by me. Guess I'll belt up here and I'll just rip the research, right? Seems good enough. Discarding Dark Energy is way smarter. Yeah, seems pretty good. I believe Whimsicott hits 160, I want to say. Its snipe is obviously dangerous, and he has powered that up pretty nicely here. It's representing an 18 or a 180 snipe that could get even higher with extra attachment here. Yeah, so Trick Wind is 160, but Fluff Ball Star is substantially more dangerous. Gonna see the research here. Yeah, he has to start through the active, otherwise he just loses to a boss. Makes sense to me. Can I win this turn with the V-Star now acquired? No, because I don't have Energy Switch available. Would it be possible anyway? Don't think so. But I can just power up Hoopa this turn and grab boss to hand pretty happily, I guess. Like, this damage isn't doing much, but the everything else is. Do I even need to V-Star power this turn? I think I should just play around Marnie as much as possible, honestly. So we'll hold the V-Star power to be our ace in the hole next turn. We'll just go all three. He plays around hammer best, right? He still has a couple more hammers. It could be basically his way to claw back into the game. Brr, they've been terrible for him. I think he's hit 3 tails. Wait, they're playing Training Court in a hammer deck. Thinking. It makes sense to be in a Shadow Rider deck, but not a deck that plays hammer, right? Sus. Kinda sus. Yeah, forced to money because we took V-Star to hand. Thing is, like, he's not even taking a KO this turn, right? He's just hitting us with the wind in his sails. They're digging hard for this last hammer, yeah. Yeah, and because they can't KO, we have Starbuff for game. I mean, it's like, what do they even do? I'm holding balloon, right? Oh wait, I'm not allowed to attach tools, right? Yes. Let's remember that I'm not a fool. Boop. Well, the dark guys did the dark things, which is good. We do represent 3 type coverages in the deck, so we should be hitting most decks for weakness here or there. Moltres is just a very, very good card. I could even see that being a 3 of because it's so important just to establish them, and it does feel bad when like one's prized. It feels bad when basically any of them are prized in the matchup. Glad I got to showcase a game against Mew. Because we did the double 1 prize thing, right? They actually didn't take a prize turn 1 regardless, but if they do, it's basically an irrelevant prize for you in terms of the race. They still need to win in 3 attacks from that point on, and Arceus, thanks to weakness, can be a deck that wins in 3 attacks because you can always one-shot on Mew. You're accelerating your attackers to have multiple threats the entire game, which actually enables you to boss, and you have the V-Star power that helps you boss that little bit more as well by piecing together turns. So you can keep Mew honest, and if you get the double single prizer down, you're very happy. So I'm glad that worked out in the end. I could easily see the 4th Mew being a card, like I said, Hoopa being a card. Outside of that, I think the deck is close, and I do think it will be a solid threat in the format. Arceus is obviously scared of fighting, and there will be some of that in the format, but I do think that with this suite of the double bird and the Hoopa, we have a lot of answers. Let me know what you guys think about Arceus. What's your favourite way to build it? I'll be back tomorrow, or might be Jack tomorrow, actually. One of us will be doing a deck list tomorrow on PTCGO still for a little bit longer, so hope you enjoyed. See you there.